Hi, my name's Ilma and welcome to my channel. I have been posting Christian blogs for 14 straight years every day. Today I'd like to share Psalm 9 verses 9 to 14. Here's the word of God. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you. For you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord, who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds, for he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death, that I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. Psalm 9, 9 to 14. Here's my poem. Trust in God alone. If you trust in God alone, you will not be abandoned. He is a fortress for all those who have been forgotten. Put your trust in God and not in any idol or human being. He is the Lord Almighty, who is gracious, loving, and amazing. His love for you is unconditional and never-ending. Trust in God alone, for if you do, you will be contented. Here's my commentary. We can easily trust ourselves, but to trust God can pose many challenges to many people, especially those who do not know God. Some people trust in their wealth, knowledge, power, and many other idols, which do not last or truly give as a guarantee or assurance in life. Many unbelievers do not have a clue as to their purposes in life. We become so accustomed to the world system of believing in the self instead of a higher power who knows more than ourselves. We all live our lives assuming that we know a lot of things when in reality, we often struggle with trying to make sense of many things. By nature, we are so arrogant and rely on our own skills and understanding, which sometimes cancel our other people's opinions or expertise. Then we become disillusioned if these idols we trust do not live up to our expectations. In this psalm, the writer wants us to trust in God alone because He is a stronghold. A stronghold is a fortress that shields us from enemies and attackers. If we trust in God alone, we will be assured of total safety and protection. But if we trust in something else, we won't have that guarantee since no one loves us more than our Maker. Reflection. What do most people trust in our world today, and why do you think they rely on them? Well, probably the number one is that they trust in their riches or wealth. It is so prevalent in our culture that we accumulate things because we put our identity, excuse me, we put our identity or a sense of value from what we own. And that is a sad faith because I, I, I could identify myself with that because growing up in the Philippines, we didn't have much. But so, and my mother was probably from experience the Second World War, so she tends to more or less hoard things. And I guess I grew up in that kind of environment, and I also have that sense of accumulating. Um, it's not until I studied why we do those things, because sometimes when we have a certain loss, we'd like to compensate for that loss. And a lot of times we use material things or our accomplishments as a way to compensate for those losses. And so when we begin to accumulate these things that we trust in, we fail to see the goodness of God. We fail to see that the provision is coming from Him. So we think that we're making it for ourselves, that we think that we are achieving certain things, and so we become attached to it. And it says in the Bible too that uh, the things that you treasure is usually the things that will draw you away from the Lord. So it's important that we put in perspective which one comes first. If we do not know our purpose in life, we will not make God first, because those who do not know the Lord does not acknowledge that everything comes from Him. So when we trust in God here in this psalm, we hear that we get reassurance, we get protection, we get shielded from the enemy. So it's interesting how the world has used the enemy's tactics or ploy to entice us to rely on material things, on human beings, on other idols, instead of relying on God. Because the more He distracts us from focusing our attention on Him, the more He is winning. So it's important for us to recognize that we must put our trust in God alone, so that we will not be misled, or we will not be waylaid, or fall from all the things that are presenting itself to us. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ILMA'S.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I could make more videos, give you the Word of God. And if you haven't already, check over 4,000 videos I've done over the years I've been doing this daily. Just type on YouTube or Google search ILMA'S Poem Devotional. You have a wonderful day, and if you're in Ontario, where I am, we have been having heat waves since yesterday, and we're going to the 35s to that feels almost like 43 temperatures. So keep hydrated if you're in Ontario, and if you can stay in a cool place, do so, and try to avoid the heat. I tried to work this morning in the garden, and I worked only until 9:30, and I was so exhausted, and I guess the heat drains you so much. So now I'm staying inside, cooling, and doing all my inside project instead of getting to the garden. Maybe I'll work later after sunset, which usually is around our sunset here in Ontario is usually 10 o'clock in the evening. So after dinner I can still do some more work, and that will be a cooler temperature to sow more seeds. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful summer.